Why visceral fat is killing you and the fastest way to lose it. That stubborn belly fat that won't budge, that's not just a little extra padding left over from last Christmas. Oh no, that, my friend, is your visceral fat. It's like a silent squatter wrapped around your organs, stealing your health like a creepy landlord who never leaves. And I once had one of those. And here's the worst bit. You can't pinch it, you can't see it, but it's there all the time, cooking up inflammation in your whole body like a dodgy kebab van at 2 a.m. in the morning. So stick with me and you will learn exactly what visceral fat is, number one, why it's far more dangerous than that muffin top that you can actually see in the mirror, the real reason that your morning jog just isn't fixing it, and the science-backed and yes, fun ways that you can melt it using food and movement and a little metabolic common sense. I'm filming today from the beautiful Roman city of Bath in England. So Bath in Somerset, and behind me here, you can just see, this is the Crescent. It's this magnificent arc of Georgian houses, which has been here since the 1700s. I can't give you a blue sky because we don't have one today, but it is nonetheless a beautiful backdrop. So part one. What is it? Visceral fat is not the soft stuff that you can grab around your waist. That's subcutaneous fat. Yeah, annoying, ruins the line of your trousers, but it's not deadly. Visceral fat, on the other hand, that's the internal, hidden stuff that wraps itself around our organs, around the liver, the pancreas, the heart, the intestines, like cling film on yesterday's leftovers. Think of it like mould growing in the walls of your house. You can paint over it all you like, but it's still going to be there underneath, rotting the structure from the inside. According to Dr. Sean O'Mara, the amazing Dr. Sean O'Mara, who in my opinion is the world's leading knowledge on visceral fat, and other metabolic health experts, visceral fat isn't just a symptom, it's a root cause of multiple other diseases. That's really, really important to grasp. So you've got things like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, dementia, certain cancers. This is the fat that pumps out those inflammatory chemicals 24/7, messes with your hormones and raises your blood sugar, even if you've only just been sitting on the sofa watching the Great British Bake Off. Oh, hello. I haven't got Mikey with me today. He is in Normandy in France with our friends Tim and Meryl and their wonderful dog Marina, who's one of his best girlfriends. And he's been having this wonderful week away. So not with me here today, but hopefully he'll be on my next video. So this is the myth busting moment. You don't get rid of visceral fat by spending 90 minutes a day on the treadmill. In fact, endless cardio, that can backfire because it spikes your cortisol. And I've talked about this before, cortisol being the major stress hormone, which tells your body to hang on to fat for dear life. So what is the solution? Instead of durational exercise, you need to do short, sharp bursts of high intensity exercise, and really short. You know, it's a specific method that Dr. Sean has figured out is the best way to get rid of this horrible stuff. We're talking 10 to 20 seconds of sprints, hill runs or bike bursts. You can do it on a recumbent bike, anything that gets your heart rate up as high as it can go at your the hardest you can work. And that might not be very hard at all if you're not fit. That might just be, for you, that might be barely getting out of a walk, but you do a short burst to raise your heart rate for 10 to 20 seconds, and then you go back to full recovery in between. And all you need to do is initially just do that a couple of times a week. I've progressed to every other day, but you've got to have a day of recovery as well. So your body gets the signal. We're in a hurry, burn fat fast. Toolbox. So let's go on to our toolbox, the food part. So step one is to cut out the sugar. And I don't just mean the cakes and biscuits. I'm talking about the bread, the pasta, the rice, the crisps, the juice, the healthy granola bars, anything that turns into sugar in your body faster than ice cream melts on a hot day, which we don't have today. Sugar is visceral fat's favourite snack. Every time you spike your insulin, you're telling your body, store more fat and keep it close to the organs, please. And who wants to do that? And this is a point that is one of the first things that I try to teach to my students, to my clients when I start coaching, is that anything starchy turns into sugar or is turned into sugar by your body. Anything starchy. So wholemeal bread, we think of wholemeal bread as being healthier than white bread, for example, still turns into sugar in the body. Muesli turned into sugar in the body. That's what the body does with those starchy foods. And unless you're going to use that sugar immediately, unless you're going to burn it all off, if you're very, very active, for example, then you can get away with it. You can eat some sugary foods, because I think of bread and brown rice and beans and they're all, I think of all of those as sugary foods because they're very carby. So yes, if you're going to burn that energy off straight away, if you're a very, very energetic person, you're on your feet all day and you're working physically hard, or you're an endurance athlete, then yes, you can get away with eating carbs. But for the rest of us who are maybe not as active as that, people who are more sedentary, people who spend most of their days sitting down, maybe think about reducing those sugars, because they are creating that visceral fat that is ultimately going to kill you. So step 2 is to go low carb or ketogenic. And what does that mean? So that means when you slash the carbs and you increase your healthy fats, your insulin will drop. That's the hormone that controls your blood sugar, and your body will flip into fat burning mode. Ketones, the byproduct of burning fuel for fat, they've been shown to specifically reduce visceral fat. And as I've also talked about before, and if you're a ketogenic fan or you're a low carb fan, you probably already know this, that the brain's favourite fuel, allegedly, and I don't make this stuff up, this is only from doing my own research and my own experience, the brain prefers ketones for fuel. They burn slower, it gives you a longer lasting energy, and yeah, I know everybody thinks it's glucose, but actually it's fat that gives you the better fuel source. So step 3 in your plan for getting rid of your visceral fat, step 3 is to introduce fermented foods, traditionally fermented foods like your sauerkrauts, your kimchi, your kefir or kefir. These don't just make your gut microbiome happy. A healthy gut can help to regulate your blood sugar and lower that inflammation, which means ultimately less visceral fat. So Dr. O'Mara himself, he recommends fermented foods, traditionally fermented foods, as part of his visceral fat reversal strategy. And it works, which is why he does it. I mean, I include fermented foods in my diet every single day. I never used to, I didn't know. But now that I know that that is the way forward, that that's going to improve my health long term, and it's important to have a variety of fermented foods. So don't just have that one old skanky jar of sauerkraut that's been kicking around for 6 months, although that's really good for you. Try and have a variety of them. Try and buy them from different suppliers, or make it yourself. And every single different batch that you make will have a different bacterial profile, different microbial profile. So that's brilliant, isn't it? So you can put a huge variety, and you don't need to eat buckets of these things. We're talking a teaspoon of this one, a teaspoon of that one, a half cup of kefir. And also, here's a handy hint, which I have said before: if you buy it from the shop, buy shop-bought yogurts or kefir, take the lid off, put some tissue paper over the top, piece of kitchen roll, piece of elastic band, and leave it on the kitchen counter for a day. And the bacteria in that product is going to multiply and multiply up. Every 4 hours, it doubles. So imagine after 24 hours how much more bacteria you've got in that yogurt or in that kefir than you had yesterday when you brought it home from the shop. Because commercially produced yogurts do not have to be, by law, they don't have to be fermented for more than 4 hours or one rotation. So they've got bacteria in them for sure, but it's not a lot. But every hour that goes past, it's going to multiply. So that's a really easy way to boost the power of your fermented dairy foods, or non-dairy foods if you don't eat dairy. And if you've never made fermented foods before, have a go. It's not difficult. I mean, in fact, it's absolutely the opposite. It's even easier than baking. You just take, for example, sauerkraut, salt, cabbage, bit of water, and that's it. And you just have in a jar, and then just got to have some patience and wait for it to do its thing in the jar. And when I say good quality salt, my favourite is Redmond's Real Salt. I like that one because it's really clean. It's been mined from underground in Utah in the States. I buy it on Amazon. And another one is Baja Gold. You've got your Celtic salt. You want a salt that's got the minimum of pollution and in it. And unfortunately, just regular sea salt these days, our seas are full of pollution, so I tend to steer away from those now. What else have we got in our toolbox? We've got the movement part. Yep, I love my walks. Daily movement, especially after meals. That's going to keep your blood sugar stable and your insulin down, keeping it low. But here's the kicker. For visceral fat, it's that combination of neat, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is your walking, your cleaning, your gardening, standing at your desk, all the little bits that keep you from being sedentary. And your strength training, because muscle burns more glucose and keeps your insulin sensitive. Plus, it looks really nice in a sleeveless top. Sprints and HIIT training, HIIT, that's high intensity interval training, not long duration, which I was celebrating when I heard that, because I think that's great. I don't like long durational hard exercise like running. It's too hard on my joints. I used to do it when I was younger. I can't do it anymore. But short bursts of sprinting, I can manage those absolutely fine. And like I said, it's just a short burst, just as hard as you can go, as hard as that is for you. Short, hard, recover, done. This combination works far better than chronic cardio. Mind-body factor. Chronic stress is visceral fat's very best friend. Elevated cortisol equals more fat stored deep inside your abdomen. That's why part of your fat loss prescription, if you like, should be prioritising sleep. Yes, bed before midnight. Your circadian clock is going to thank you. Stress management, meditation, breath work, or just sitting with a cup of tea in silence, just having some downtime. Finding the thing that enables you to relax and then relaxing and doing that thing. And number 3, not overtraining. Your body needs balance. So here's your action plan. This is how you can get started. Here's your visceral fat eviction notice, step by step. Number 1, we are going to cut the sugar and the refined carbs. Most important. That's the first job. And this is the first thing that I teach to all of my clients. Number 2, we're going to eat protein with every single meal and enough of it. And I've talked about that before. This video isn't specifically about protein, but this is all part of your big plan. Number 3, you're going to add in those fermented foods daily. Number 4, walk after your meals, even if it's only 10 minutes, even if it's just round the block and back, walk after your meals, because that will really help to shift the glycogen from the food that you've just eaten. It will put it into activity and stop it being stored, and it will help you with your digestion. Number 5, you're going to strength train twice a week. Now, strength training, I've covered this before. It's absolutely essential. It's even more essential as we age. The World Health Organization says for people under 60, strength training twice a week is enough, is sufficient. That's the prescription. But once you get over 60, then you need to train 3 times a week. And Harry covered this in my video with Kim and Harry Goff. Number 6, you're going to do sprints or short HIIT training, high intensity interval training, once or twice a week. You can increase, but just get started. Just start with once or twice a week. You can obviously do more than that, but always make sure that you leave time for recovery between your sessions, because it is quite hard work sprinting. You know, you think 10 to 20 seconds, it's as of nothing, but actually when you do it, you will feel it the next day in all your muscles. Number 7, sleep 7 to 9 hours a night. Somebody said to me the other day, oh, it's all very well saying that we should sleep more, but I'm a chronic insomniac. Sleep isn't just about going to bed and lying there and staring at the ceiling and now I can't sleep and now I'm worried and now it's stressing me out. And you have to work at it. You've got to look at all the reasons. You've got to look at what time you get up in the morning. Andrew Huberman says that a good night's sleep starts from the moment you open your eyes, because the first thing you should be doing every morning when you first wake up is getting your eyes out into the daylight. That's no contact lenses, no glasses. Just stick your head out the window. If you going outside in the morning isn't practical for you, stick your head out the window, because you need that morning light in your eyes to tell your brain it's the morning, time to wake up, it's daylight, and that is going to contribute to a better night's sleep the following night. And you can't just do it once and expect it to work. I worked on this for months before I got into a really good rhythm. And number 8, manage your stress before it manages you. If you feel like you need more help with your health journey, I have a 3-month course which I've entitled Maximum Fat Loss. There's a link down in the description. It's a solo course. If you would like more information on coaching, if you feel like a coached 3-month course is the way that you'd like to go, I am taking on a few clients now for September, and you can email me and book a free discovery call if you feel that one-to-one coaching is the path that you'd like to take and you need somebody to be accountable to, somebody to hold your hand. I'll take you through a 3-month program which will correct imbalances, change your diet, lose the weight, regain your energy, get your sleep back on track, get your movement back on track, and it just changes everything. You address your health now and you'll be set for the rest of your life. And it's never too late to start. It's never too late to build muscle. It's never too late to lay down bone mass, to change all the things and get rid of the body-wide inflammation, the visceral fat. Send me an email if that sounds of interest to you, or have a look at my website. There's also a link in the description. So to wrap up, visceral fat is reversible and you can change it faster than you think. I've seen people cut theirs in half literally in a matter of months just by following these principles. It's not just about a smaller trouser size, it's about adding years to your life and life to your years, because this stuff is poisonous and toxic and it just makes you sick and you don't want it inside you. And Dr. Sean treats his patients starts out with his protocol by doing an MRI scan, which is the only true way that you can actually properly look at how much visceral fat you have inside your body. And he's had patients who were so shocked when they saw the images of what the inside of their body looked like. One person, he famously quotes one person actually fainted, but they're so shocked and appalled that this disgusting fat is just cloaking their organs, suffocating, it literally suffocates, prevents oxygen from getting to your organs and stops them from working properly. All your organs need to be able to function as best they can, as optimally as they can, and they are not functioning if they're shrouded in this horrible white fat, yellow fat. I've put a guide down below it. There's a link to it in the description. You have to sign up for my newsletter, add yourself to my mailing list, and then you have access to my free PDFs. A few people have not been able to find the link. It's in the description. You add yourself to the mailing list, and then you'll find the PDFs. It's a very simple procedure. And in there is a visceral fat guide, or guide to how to get rid of your visceral fat. So all the things I've said in this video in one file. So if you found this helpful, please hit subscribe, because apparently only about 10% of you watching have actually done that. Naughty. Really helps me, really helps my channel to grow and bring you more information like this. And also download my free visceral guide, and also in the PDFs you'll find things like the protein cheat sheet to help you start eating better for fat loss from today. And if you want the deeper dive, check out my members only content here on YouTube, where I go into the juicy details that the algorithm doesn't want me to talk about. Thank you so much for watching. So from the beautiful Roman city of Bath, you've only seen a little bit of it, but I just think the Royal Crescent's so fabulous. And if you haven't seen it before, you should see it. So thank you for watching. And if you've enjoyed this video, I'm going to link the Fermented Foods playlist here, and another video you might like to watch here. Thank you very much for watching. As always, cheerio. Nourish, don't punish, stay strong, and get rid of your visceral fat. Bye.